I appreciate the contributions of the ROTC ushers and the color guard, the volunteer student ushers, Professor Carson and Professor Wright, who served as the faculty marshals, assisting the students and the faculty in the professional this morning, and of course the symphonic band under the direction of Department of Music faculty Jacob Wallace and Kevin Kessler. Would you please join me in an expression of appreciation for these contributions this morning? I want to thank our honorary marshals who were introduced earlier, Professor Carlson and Professor Hagerfeld Baker. Will you two please step forward at this moment? Join me in recognizing our deserving honorary marshals. It's now my pleasure to introduce members of the platform party who are participating in this morning's ceremony, but will not be introduced later in the program. I ask that each of them stand when introduced and ask that you hold your applause until all have been introduced. Dean of Arts and Sciences, Dennis Papini. Dean of Pharmacy and soon to be Interim Provost, Dennis Hedge. Dean of the Graduate School, Kinshel Dorner. Dean of the Van B. and Barbara B. Fishback Honors College, Tim Nichols. Dean of University College, Keith Corbett. And Chief University Librarian, Christy Thornquist. Please recognize these university leaders on the platform this morning. Now, I'd like to give a very special recognition and a thank you to the parents, the friends, and the loved ones of today's graduates who have provided the support, the encouragement, and of course, some financial assistance as they journeyed their pathway from first-year students to this special day of commencement. Members of the graduating class of 2016, please rise. Now, I want you to turn to where your parents or your loved ones are in the Frost Arena and give them a big round of applause for the support they have given you through your journey. You may be seated. Many of you knew where your parents were. That's really good. We are so honored this morning to have Colonel RENZ as the commencement speaker. Colonel RENZ earned both his bachelor's degree in chemistry and his commission as a regular Army officer through ROTC at South Dakota State University. His address this morning is titled, Toward a Legacy of Service. Upon earning his Doctor of Medicine degree from USD, Colonel RENZ completed his residency in general surgery at William Beaumont Army Medical Center in El Paso, Texas. He served as the chief of the Army Burn Flight Team and later as the director of the Army Burn Center in San Antonio, Texas. Dr. RENZ completed fellowship training in burn surgery and surgical critical care. He completed his senior executive fellowship program at Harvard's Kennedy School of Government. He is a fellow in the American College of Surgeons and serves as a professor of surgery at the Uniformed Services University of Health Sciences. He served as CEO of the Brooke Army Medical Center until April of this year. Please join me in welcoming Colonel Dr. RENZ.
President Chequin, Provost Nichols, deans, faculty, friends, and families of SDSU, and especially the members of the class of 2016. It is indeed an honor for me to join you here today on this important occasion. It is always a great pleasure for my wife, Diane, and I to return to Brookings and this beautiful campus and the wonderful community that surrounds it. Our wish for you is that this event always represents a significant milestone in your life, just as it has for us, since we walked across this same stage just 33 years ago. My mission this morning is to share select lessons from my own life, which I have found to be most useful since stepping off from the campus in 1983, embarking on a journey that proved to be more remarkable than I could have ever imagined. The acclaimed musician, theologian, physician, and Nobel laureate, Dr. Albert Schweitzer, was quoted as saying, "I do not know what your destiny will be, but one thing I do know, the only ones among you who will be really happy are those who have sought and found how to serve." I believe that these words provide each of us an opportunity for self-reflection. For me, being granted the privilege of earning an education at this university and a commission to serve in uniform was only the beginning of what would evolve into countless experiences and blessings experienced throughout the world. As you reflect on your own time here at State, I encourage you to identify those who have served as your mentors and to maintain that relationship and contact with them over time. No record of accomplishment is written alone, and it is extremely rare that any noteworthy success is ever accomplished in isolation and without considerable support and assistance from colleagues, friends, and family. I am confident that each of you have numerous individuals to thank today and throughout the years to come. Please allow me to thank the hundreds of faculty and leaders who have helped to ensure that each of you received an education of high quality from start to finish. And I was informed that Dr. Gary Thibodeau, the Professor Emeritus from the Department of Anatomy, is in the audience today, and I personally want to thank him for being one of those mentors for me 30 plus years ago. Building a legacy of service involves teamwork, and I hope that each of you are able to experience that same sense of accomplishment that only comes from collaboration and with committed partners, all focused on one common goal. Interdisciplinary professional teamwork based on shared values is truly a valued resource within any successful organization. Your alma mater has a well-deserved reputation for graduating men and women of character who are more inclined to contribute to something greater than themselves rather than seek fame or fortune individually, who understand and appreciate core values, and as leaders who model them. This description of service is partially a reflection of heritage bestowed on us by principled men and women who recognize the long-term value of pursuing and fostering education at all levels. The term legacy itself is derived from Latin, which refers to the transition of something of value from one generation of the next. The benefactors and faculty of this institution chose to serve you and I by giving of their labors to ensure that future generations could always do better, move farther, and advance both science and art for the benefit of others. By being here today, we validate the legacy of service demonstrated by so many who recognize the need to endow this university and their community to ensure that education will continue here for generations to come. None of us know exactly what path we will take in life, especially when we look for doors of opportunity as they present along the way. how often we are also provided the opportunity to open a door for someone else to pass through. This may represent a simple act of service, but one deemed especially helpful for him or her whose burdens may be much greater than our own at that particular point in their life. For nearly 15 years, our nation has been continuously engaged in combat throughout the world. During most of that time, I have been privileged to serve as a surgeon caring for America's sons and daughters, both at home and abroad, who have become seriously ill, injured, or wounded overseas. What these past years have taught me about the true meaning of selfless service is frankly difficult to describe, but I will attempt to share one story. In 2013, a young Marine major, married and the father of 3 young children, was deployed as a helicopter pilot in Southeast Asia. He was a Naval Academy graduate and taught mathematics and physics to engineering students at the Naval Academy. Prior to his deployment, while on a mission in Thailand, his co-pilot lost control of their aircraft during a mountaintop landing, instinctively forcing him to take the controls of the aircraft in an attempt to avoid the crash and to protect the crew. He was able to stabilize the ship, which was now on fire, just long enough for the crew members to be extracted. Once he noticed that the crew and was confirmed that they were all safe, he was able to exit the burning aircraft. He stayed at the controls with the cockpit engulfed in flames until he saw that they were all safe. He was flown from Thailand nonstop to the United States, where he endured 10 months of operations and thousands of hours of rehabilitation. How could this man, ravaged by injury, continue his legacy of service while relearning to walk and facing years of reconstruction? 3 years after narrowly escaping death, he volunteers at his children's school. He helps teach science projects, and he uses his own biomechanical prosthetic hand as a prop to encourage those young people to go into engineering. He participates in long-distance recumbent cycle rides. Excuse me. To raise awareness for persons with disabilities. He volunteers to serve on a federal committee to select combat casualty care research projects to receive federal funding. He fought for and was selected to continue on active duty in the Marine Corps in uniform. Next month, he will assume command of a unit to lead a unit that takes care of wounded Marines. In the 3 years that I have known him, I have never seen him unhappy. I have never seen him without a smile. I submit to you that this man and others like him epitomize what Dr. Schweitzer was referring to when he related to service and happiness. Few of us are ever called to make the kind of sacrifice that I have just described, and yet each of us is called to serve as we are able. As you cross this stage today and step out into the next phase of your life, I encourage you to contemplate and discover how best to build your own personal legacy of service. Each of you have an important, perhaps yet undefined, role to play in building a legacy and a proud heritage. A proud heritage contributing to this institution, your community, and this nation. And I am personally looking forward to watching the class of 2016 as it makes its individual and collective contributions and entries into the annals of service of SDSU. Congratulations and Godspeed.
Thank you, Colonel. Those were very powerful words and much appreciated. The South Dakota Board of Regents policy describes an honorary doctorate degree as its highest honor, bestowed upon individuals who have achieved distinction in their professions and have rendered outstanding contribution or service to the people of South Dakota. South Dakota State University has a long tradition of awarding honorary degrees. It is my distinct honor to confer an honorary doctorate degree this morning on Mr. Larry Ness, a 1969 graduate of the Department of Economics, for his outstanding public service and for his many, many professional accomplishments. Larry grew up on a family farm in the Sinai area and enrolled in South Dakota State after high school. While a student here at State, Larry joined the National Guard. He served proudly, retiring as a major in the U.S. Army Reserve after 24 years of service. During that time, he began participating very successfully in rifle shooting competitions. He has won more than 20 military and civilian championships over the years. After completing his economics degree, Larry began his successful banking career initially as a bank examiner. In 1981, he was hired as executive vice president of the First National Bank of Volga. These were very turbulent economic times, if you remember, for the farm economy, and not a time for the faint of heart. 2 years later, in 1983, he was recruited to be president of First Dakota National Bank in Yankton, which was facing significant challenges because of the depressed farm economy. Chartered in 1872, First Dakota National Bank was the first chartered bank in the Dakota Territory. Saying that First Dakota has flourished underneath Larry's leadership is a major understatement. Now a banking and financial service sector leader, First Dakota National Bank has assets of over $1.1 billion with 24 locations serving communities in Nebraska and South Dakota. Because of the many dedicated professionals Larry has recruited and mentored to First Dakota, First Dakota is now one of the largest community banks headquartered in South Dakota and the second largest community bank ag lender in the United States. Larry describes one of his greatest joys as his association with so many talented, dedicated, accomplished, and loyal banking professionals at First Dakota National Bank. Larry has been actively involved in the South Dakota Bankers Association throughout his career. He served on the board of directors and led the association as president in 1987. He's been involved in banking legislation and policy issues at both the state and the national level. Larry's devoted time and energy and leadership and treasury to the numerous state boards, agencies, and for that was named to the South Dakota Hall of Fame in 2012. A proud graduate in economics, Larry was the 2010 recipient of the Distinguished Alumnus Award from the Department of Economics. He and his wife, Diane, have provided scholarships to students for many years, and First Dakota provides a match for First Dakota employees who fund Jackrabbit Guarantee scholarships. Larry and Diane's generous endowment gift enabled the Ness Division of Management and Economics to become a reality at our university. Similarly, Larry and First Dakota National Bank funded the creation of the game-changing First Dakota National Bank Electronic Trading Education Laboratory in Berg Agricultural Hall. Larry and Diane and the bank support many projects and many initiatives that have made Yankton a better community. Larry is currently a member of the SDSU Foundation Council of Trustees and of the Board of Advisors of the Division of Management and Economics that carries his name. I ask that Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Lori Nichols, and Vice President for Research and Economic Development, Dr. Kevin Kephart, to assist me in the following presentation. Today, for outstanding contributions to the state of South Dakota and our university, and for exemplary accomplishments in the banking and financial services sector, it is my distinct honor to confer on Larry Ness an honorary doctorate degree. Now, the university is proud of each and every one of our graduates, but faculty and administrators take particular pride in those who have achieved high levels of academic excellence. I welcome to the podium our Provost, Lori Nichols, who will recognize those students graduating with academic honors. Provost.
Thank you, and good morning. Earning a degree takes hard work and commitment. A special group of graduates deserve extra recognition today. These students have reached the highest levels of academic achievement. The program denotes those members of the class whose records signify them as graduating with honors and those who are graduating from the Honors College. In addition, SDSU initiates students into the National Honor Society of Phi Kappa Phi. The members are elected from every branch of the arts, sciences, humanities, and the professional colleges. Only those in the top 10% of the senior class are eligible for election into Phi Kappa Phi. This morning, we recognize those who have achieved this high scholastic record. Will all the graduates who are graduating with honors and those graduating with honors college distinction, will you please stand today so that we can recognize you? Thank you. We also have students from across the colleges who have prepared to become teachers. Will those graduates who have completed the teacher education curriculum for certification as teachers please stand so we can recognize you? Thank you. Now I am pleased to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Corey Norris, Professor of Military Science for Army ROTC. He will recognize the Army cadet or candidates for commission.
Thank you, Provost Nichols. Please join me in congratulating South Dakota State University graduates who have accepted commissions in the United States Army or Air Force. Those in attendance, please stand to be recognized. Remain standing until the new commissionees have been announced. From the Army, 2nd Lieutenant Chelsea Cahoon, 2nd Lieutenant Eric Chapin, 2nd Lieutenant Taylor Hoyton, 2nd Lieutenant Christopher Simmons, and 2nd Lieutenant Ray Talley.
Congratulations. Now I'm pleased to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Craig McEwen, Professor of Aerospace Studies for Air Force ROTC. He will recognize the Air Force candidates for commission.
Second Lieutenant Nicholas Nyberg, 2nd Lieutenant Ethan Rasmussen, 2nd Lieutenant Leah Ngari, 2nd Lieutenant Jacob Biersbach, 2nd Lieutenant A.B. Hagan, 2nd Lieutenant Ross Rice, and Lieutenant Corey Wheeler. Ladies and gentlemen, your Army and Air Force lieutenants.
Hal Bailey is a 1988 graduate of South Dakota State University. He currently serves as chairman of the board of the South Dakota State University Alumni Association. Mr. Bailey will bring greetings to the graduates as they transition from students to alumni.
Thank you, President Chiquin. Good morning, graduates. I can't begin to tell you how much of a pleasure it is to be here with you today, and an honor to be in the midst of such a wonderful group of people, and to be able to represent the SDSU Alumni Association. On behalf of the association, we would certainly like to congratulate the class of 2016 for all your hard work and perseverance. Congratulations, class. There are three things that I would like you to realize this morning about the time that you spent here at this special place. First, the education that you received at SDSU has prepared you to meet the challenges of today and the opportunities ahead as you enter the workforce and begin your careers. I'd like the graduating class to just take a moment to consider what they have in common with a few people off of a very long list. Stephen F. Briggs, inventor and founder of the Briggs & Stratton Company. Theodore Schultz, Nobel Prize winner. Brigadier General Myrna Williamson, who when she retired was the senior female officer in the United States Army. David Chiquin, 19th president of SDSU. Have you figured it out yet? It's not that hard. All these individuals graduated from South Dakota State University. Take a look around at each other. You're sitting amongst greatness right now. You now have the talent and the abilities to follow in these alumni footsteps and to exceed your wildest dreams. Second, it takes commitment and an individual with strong values to graduate from our university. Your time here has only strengthened your sense of accomplishment and will give you the drive and the desire in life to make you successful. Believe me, I do remember you had to be disciplined to study and to earn these diplomas. And third, you're a jackrabbit for life. The many friends and connections you made at SDSU will stay with you forever. You'll see this wherever you go. You'll be able to find a community of jackrabbits, young and old, that are willing to share their experiences, to help one another however they can. As we like to say at the Alumni Association, SDSU is where loyalty lives. Graduation day at SDSU is indeed a special day. It's a time to honor the hard work and achievements of individual scholars. And on behalf of the 86,126 members of the SDSU Alumni Association, congratulations again to each and every one of you on a job well done. Yes, absolutely. When many of you arrived on campus as freshmen just a few short years ago, I'm sure you remember that, you attended fall convocation. And at this event, you all were given a very unique coin. On this coin are the words, "Once a student, forever an alum." And you were then encouraged to take this coin, drop it into the world's biggest cowbell, and make a wish for your college career. Today, we'd like to think that you've received that wish, and after receiving your diploma today, each member of the graduating class will receive the same coin from a member of the Alumni Association staff. We did promise that we'd return them to you, and today we fulfill that promise. As you walk across the stage, you'll be closing a chapter of your life, but at the same time, you will be opening another. As you leave this place, remember that no matter where you go and no matter what you do, you will always be a member of the SDSU family. We at the Alumni Association are very proud of you, and we look forward to helping you stay connected to your alma mater. As we welcome you into our alumni family, that is now a family over 88,000 strong. Today and forevermore, you will be jackrabbits. Congratulations, graduates, and best of luck to you all.
Thank you, Hal. Now I invite to the podium Doug Wormadal, Interim Vice President for Student Affairs, who will introduce this year's graduating senior speaker.
Thank you, President Chiquin. Commencement ceremonies regularly include comments from a member of the graduating class. I'm pleased to take this opportunity to introduce a spring 2016 graduate to provide remarks on behalf of this year's graduating class. Jeremiah Atkinson is a biology, pre-medicine, and biochemistry double major, originally from Ramsey, Minnesota. Jeremiah has been actively engaged across campus throughout his 4 years as a student. He has served as an admissions ambassador, community assistant, and undergraduate teaching assistant in anatomy and honors orientation. He has held leadership positions in the Honors College Student Organization, participated in research opportunities, and traveled to conferences. He has also been involved in the Navigators Campus Ministry, teaching the MCAT prep course, lead state, and various honor societies. Jeremiah has been recognized as a Briggs Scholar and earned the Joseph Nelson Research and Schultz Worth Senior Paper Awards, as well as the Fishback Honors College Award for Excellence in Research. Jeremiah developed his passion for medicine with an internship at the Minneapolis Heart Institute Foundation and a medical mission trip to Nicaragua. In his spare time, and it's surprising he has any, he enjoys board games, frisbee golf, swing dancing with his fiancée, who he's met here at South Dakota State University. Jeremiah will be attending the University of Minnesota Medical School this fall. His interest in pediatrics and cardiology, he will pursue and make international missions a part of his lifelong service. Please welcome Jeremiah Atkinson.
It is my honor to give the comments from the graduating class today. Welcome and congratulations to all of our graduates here today. We've made it. That being said, we would not have gotten this far without some help. So thank you and welcome to all of the family and faculty and friends here today. Each of you has facilitated our growth into the South Dakota State University graduating class of 2016 who stand before you today. As to reflect on my earliest impressions of SDSU, I can remember that campus was under construction. The normally well-organized process of moving was a mess because of all the work sites for the new residence halls and the union. I didn't need an alarm during my first semester because the machines and drills started like clockwork at 7 a.m., even when I didn't have class until 10. As a freshman, it was easier for me to focus on the inconvenience of the construction rather than the long-term benefits that it would provide. As a sophomore, I was thankful for all that construction because I could enjoy its results. I was a community assistant in one of the new residence halls, which was a definite step up from my freshman year with no air conditioning. I also shared my fair share of trips to our new dining options, Panda Express and Chick-fil-A. And since that year, the construction projects have continued. Last fall, we celebrated the opening of the Sanford Jackrabbit Athletic Complex, one of the largest indoor practice facilities in the nation. This year, we had classes for the first time in the new Architecture, Mathematics, and Engineering building. And still in progress is the Dana J. Dykehouse Football Stadium and expansions to both the Performing Arts and the Wellness Centers. They do all the fun stuff after we leave. Just as campus has been under construction over the past 4 years, so have we. Our time here at South Dakota State has been a process of self-improvement, where we've built our knowledge, our abilities, and our perceptions of the world, and have continually constructed better versions of ourselves. First off, we laid a foundation for further knowledge. We've all had classes that stretched our perceived limits for the amount of writing and reading we could do, the information our minds could hold, or the time a complicated homework assignment should take. For me and maybe others, one of those classes that did all these things was physiology. The only way you can do well was by understanding the relationships between detailed concepts. And the only way to understand those concepts was to spend hours studying. Lecture at 7 a.m. added the extra challenge of staying awake. For some of my fellow graduates, those classes might have been heat transfer, animal reproduction, soils, or real analysis. We all need these experiences, which challenge our sense of normalcy and get us off autopilot. Only then can we learn, adapt, and find new strategies to not just survive, but to thrive. Next, through labs and practicals, we've put our knowledge into practice. In the laboratory setting, we had the security to mess up and fail, while we built the confidence to do it correctly. These tools of the trade have equipped us with the necessary skills for our future careers in agriculture, healthcare, and engineering. We'll count on our agricultural graduates to help us maintain the environment while feeding 9 billion people by 2050 and advancing scientific knowledge. Nurses, your future patients will be thankful you learned how to start an IV or put in a Foley cath on a simulation dummy instead of on them. And engineers, we'll all be glad the bridges or machines you design are safe and structurally sound. In the end, when we see the results of our hard work and perseverance, the inconveniences of a difficult class or blunders in the lab, just like the inconveniences of construction, seem worth it. And what would any structure be without doors and windows to help us encounter the world around us? Remember all those general education credits we've taken that seemed unnecessary at the time? They really helped us to think about our places in the world. Encounters with the unfamiliar helps us to discover our passions. Members of our class have traveled across the state, nation, and globe to places such as India, Senegal, Greece, Spain, and more to expand their horizons and ways of thinking. This includes our international students here today, who have traveled here to learn more about us in America. This past summer, I had the opportunity to travel to Nicaragua with a medical team, which exposed me to new ideas and cultures that will make me a better future doctor and a better man. Others have explored the world's food, culture, and dance right here on campus by attending things like International Night, the BSA Step Show, powwows, and more, or by making personal friendships with students whose backgrounds are different from our own. I think the experiences we've had at SDSU and abroad have improved all parameters of our lives and opened our eyes to the world beyond South Dakota. As an admissions ambassador, I have the opportunity to give tours to prospective students looking at attending college here. I always tell them that seeing construction on campus is a good thing. It shows that even though SDSU is over 135 years old, it is not stagnant, but constantly trying to improve itself. We should do the same. Our time here may seem short in comparison, yet the challenges we've experienced may have been just as monumental in our lives. Still, the process isn't finished for us just yet. Next, we're facing the big transformations in our lives. Whether we've landed our dream jobs or are still exploring our options. These challenges can also present us with new opportunities to learn and grow. And then there are those of us who don't want to be done with school just yet, who are pursuing either graduate or professional degrees. Apparently 17 some school years has not been enough for us. In addition to looming careers and continuing education, we're also remodeling our relationships. The random roommates, brothers or sisters in a Greek chapter, or classmates and lab partners may have been built into our best friends over the last 4 years. We've also made relationships with faculty, and I would like to say thank you again to everyone who invested time and energy in us through teaching, advising, and mentorship. As we gather this morning, you might be excited for the adventures ahead, dreading saying goodbyes, or a mix of both. I'd like to think our friendships we've constructed here can continue as lifelong relationships long after we leave. Or, as Dr. Wormadal mentions every year at Convocation, you might have found your life partner while here at SDSU. I'm excited to say I will be marrying a fellow jackrabbit this summer, and I'm looking forward to the continual construction in our marriage and building our lives together. Construction and change are inevitable at a university and in our lives. It can be exciting and scary all at the same time, and from my view, that's okay. Your times here at SDSU, the good, the bad, the parts you don't remember, they will always be a part of you. My question for you now is this: what's your next construction project? How will you use your passions to improve yourself and the world around you? We are emerging now as young professionals and the new leaders in our respective fields. Even though we're graduating, our seasons of construction will not end. We'll never stop learning, and will never stop changing. So let's start building a brighter and better world today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremiah. More construction ahead, I guess, graduates of 2016. Now it's my pleasure to invite to the podium the Honorable Harvey Jewett, longtime member of the South Dakota Board of Regents, to authorize the conferral of the degrees. Regent Jewett?
Thank you. This is my 20th year on the Board of Regents, and 20 years over in Minnesota at St. John's and St. Ben's. So I've lost track of how many graduations I've been to. But you know, you always learn something. And today I learned that we still have 7 o'clock classes. I didn't think those existed anymore. And the universities tell us that it's pretty tough to fill 8 o'clock classes, so I was really shocked about the 7 o'clock ones. But seriously, all these years and all these graduations, I am thrilled and anxious to get there and anxious to see it, because it is a culmination of years of effort in high school, really, for most people, and in college, to study into fields, some of which aren't their center fields, aren't their main interest, but to become a well-rounded, well-prepared person to graduate from here, go out into the world and lead their chosen profession and city, hopefully county, state, and be a leading citizen of our society. It's fun to be on the first day of school and watch freshmen hesitant and not very confident and wondering what they've gotten themselves into, and then come back 4 or 5, sometimes 6 later, and see a very confident, taller, shoulders squared up person ready to take on the world. And it makes it all worthwhile for me, and I think for the faculty and staff and everyone connected with the university. What you've accomplished is something that just will never go away, and you should build on it. And someplace along the line, you've learned how to study and learn, and don't lose those skills, because they're important for you for the rest of your life. And I do want to say something to the parents. In all the graduations I've been to, not one graduate stays with it, holds on, does the work, and graduates without somebody in their family telling them and supporting them financially, emotionally, and so many other ways that this is the right thing to do and you ought to keep doing it. So some part of this for the parents and families, grandparents, some part of this degree here today is yours as well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't also mention the heart and soul of this institution, and that's the faculty. No institution is any better than the faculty that we attract and keep. It takes a kind of a special person to stay in South Dakota and stay with us. Many of you will remember that the faculty were privileged to have a wage freeze along with the entire state of South Dakota employees in the last several years, you know, and we didn't lose people. They were dedicated to this institution, and they were dedicated to you, and they spend every day trying to convey the wonder of rigorous learning and gaining skills and preparing yourself for the future. So part of this is a bittersweet, part of this, your degrees is a kind of a bittersweet moment for the faculty. They hate to see you leave, but they're awful proud to have you go. So congratulations to all of you. And I just want to say one last thing to you, graduates. You know, don't pay much attention to those articles that claim that you shouldn't go to college and you don't learn anything there and you're wasting your time and money. That's just flat not true. You know, you're graduating from one of the finest institutions in this country, and the students of this school and all of our schools find jobs, succeed, and they pay their student loans back almost to the person. You don't find many schools in this country that have a lower student loan default rate than right here in this institution. So you're prepared and you've gotten an education that's second to none. So thank you all very much and congratulations. And I actually do have something to do here. It's actually a statute that one of us have to appear and authorize Provost Nichols and President Chine to award their degrees and accord you the rights and privileges thereto. And so I do that. And just one other thing, Joe Schwartz is not here today. He's a student regent. Will graduate this afternoon. But you all should know that he is a regent for every purpose. He's never excluded. He gets all the mailings. His vote counts. He goes to all the private meetings. And so he is a regent, and he reads a pile of stuff about this tall for every meeting. And he follows in the footsteps of Tony Van Huysen, who is here, Patrick Weber, who is here. So South Dakota State has led in providing leadership to the whole state by means of its student regents. So thank you. Congratulations, folks.
Thank you, Regent Jewett. The candidates for the associate and bachelor's degrees will be presented by the President of the Faculty Senate, Chemistry Professor Matt Miller.
Thank you, President Sheequin. And on behalf of the faculty, I would like to express my congratulations to the class of 2016. Well done and good luck in the future. The students whose names appear on the printed program from this commencement have been approved by the faculty at South Dakota State University and the South Dakota Board of Regents to receive the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of General Studies, Bachelor of Music Education, Bachelor of Science, or associate degrees upon satisfactory completion of the degree requirements. Will those who are to receive their degrees please stand? President Sheequin, I take pleasure in presenting these candidates to you in order that you may confer upon them the appropriate degree in their respective fields.
Thank you, Professor Miller. By virtue of the authority delegated to me by the South Dakota Board of Regents, I confer upon each of you the degree Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of General Studies, Bachelor of Music Education, Bachelor of Science, or Bachelor of Arts or Sciences in your chosen field. Upon satisfactory completion of the degree requirements, with all the responsibilities, privileges, and rights pertaining thereto. Now, candidates for these degrees, will you please present yourselves on stage for recognition? You will come to the stage by college and be congratulated by the dean of your college. Those of you waiting for your college to be called may sit down. Individual graduates will be announced by Bob Otterson, who served 8+ years as an executive assistant to the president and is now Vice President for Advancement at Dakota State University. Nancy Farnwell, Dean of the College of Nursing, will introduce the graduates of the College of Nursing. Dean Farnwell.
President Chiquin, the following graduates of the College of Nursing are prepared as professional nurses who will meet the health and healthcare needs of all people.
Laura Albrecht, Cameron Andela, Cheryl Bartling, Emily Blum, Maggie Bowe, Alicia Boomgarden, Kylie Bossler, Ashley Brandenberger, Valerie Burkhalter, Brittany Burns, Chelsea Cahoon, Becca Chandler, Denise Brock, Megan Christopher, Taylor Joe Clark, Aaliyah Dame, Haley DeGrief, Adam Drake, Megan Duelman, Allison Engels, Ashley Fikert, Brittany Flotta, Jennifer Fox, Isabella Garcia, Megan Geary, Julia Goodale, Katie Gum, Heidi Hansen, Morgan Heirigs, Taylor Helmbold, Megan Hendrickson, Lenora Hajduk, Elise Hilt, Alexis Hirsch, Sydney Horner, Shelby Huizinga, Leah Ingari, Carly Johnson, Kristen Knudsen, Cammie Conradi, Nicole Krager, Kelsey Creech, Mariah Krogman, Mackenzie Kruger, Natalie Luthold, Tavia Loberg, Kaylee Lundberg, Sarah Mayberry, Rachel McLaughlin, Lachelle Metzger, Nicole Meyer, Troy Mildenberger, Maria Miller, Leland Murrin, Rebecca Nelson, Dawn Nordquist, Mahalia Olson, Lexi Opheim, Celia Petroviak, Rachel Plantine, Chelsea Popowski, J.C. Pronk, Kelsey Pulse, Melanie Remley, Taylor Roberts, Jenna Rolofson, Whitney Rossman, Mariah Roth, Kaylee Runge, Mariah Rutherford, Haley Schmidt, Elizabeth Shue, Katie Schultz, Amy Skogerbo, Adam Stahl, Keisha Swenson, Heather Thompson, Sarah Tao, Sammy Jo de Van Drostein, Caitlin Vasslar, Allison Wagner, Caitlin Walters, Megan Winter, Abby Zenner, Callie Zerpel,
Thank you, Dean Farnwell. Lou Brown, Dean of the Jerome J. Lohr College of Engineering, will introduce the graduates of the College of Engineering.
President Chiquin, the following graduates are prepared to improve our world by helping solve our most challenging problems in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Samuel Amundsen, Jacob Cooperis, Thomas Loger, Samuel Melgren, Tanner Schweer, Austin Anderson, Micah Baker, Deidre Beck, Darren Beck, Ali Al-Kabesh, Ryan Bollinger, John Breckenridge, Salvador Caballero, Michael Carpenter, Christopher Curry, Matthew Dorfschmidt, Jared Doomer, Luis Duque Aristizabal, Cole Gebhardt, Nicholas Gillen, Yazin Hinde, Mason Kegley, Colin Kelly, Joshua Ketchum, Mateus Lima Morera, Jesse Munsterman, Tanner Odegaard, Alex Pagel, Marcus Peterson, Riley Reinhardt, Mitchell Shearer, Alexander Smith, Jacob Sony, Branson Tolliver, Jonathan Turback. Kelvin Wampole. Cody Weiss. James Bakina. Jared Christopher Holt. Cody Fossum. Gavin Frederick. Tyler Kappenman. Trey Kopach. Matthew Lemaire. Jackson Powers. Ethan Rasmussen. Logan Snare. Nicholas Swisher. Cody Taggart. Blake Krings. Robert Wessel. Max Bejarona Guerrero. Seth Brockmeyer. Jacob Campbell. Benjamin Cedar. Joseph Cheadle. Adam Gloden. Swarangi Joshi. Darren Kerfont. Christopher Plucker. Nicole Westerman. Michael Wirtz. Joshua Benken. Tyler Fletcher. Laura Froelich. Max Hansen. Chase Hayden. Jordan Hillesheim. Navid Imran. Logan Jansen. Kirsty Kurtenbach. Micah Larson. Ryan Odie. Mitchell Young. Brandon Folkers. Andrew Jeske. Ayrton Kuzella. Talila Tola. Madeline Ausdemore. Taylor Shapluski. Jessica Denai. Tyler Tashner. Jesse Hendricks. Paul May. Joel Peterson. Alexis Pearson. Megan Palmer. Joshua Ward. Archibald Amwako. Isaac Behrens. Anna Botzett. Eric Chapin. Andrew Clemon. Jay Davison. Beatrice D'Souza. Jordan DeWitt. Tori Dibb. Evan Flata. Andrew Grass. Adam Halverson. Garrett Heath. Jacob Hofteaser. Eric Howe. Douglas Callis. John Linneman, Christopher Makowski, Sarah Moore, Nicholas Nyberg, Joseph Peltier, Lucas Pereira, Chad Peterson, Ryan Randall, Katrina Ruff, Ty Scholerman, Adam Schramm, David Williamson, Tyler Cavagielli, Brady Hanna, Nicholas Howie, Daniel Jackson, Eric May, John Miller, Joel Plody, Joshua Waltz, Nathan Weinsberg, Matthew Wright,
Thank you, Dean Brown. Barry Dunn, who currently serves as the Dean of the College of Agriculture and Biological Sciences and is President-designate of our university, will recognize the graduates from that college.
President Sheeklin, the following graduates of the College of Agriculture and Biological Sciences are prepared to make successful contributions to their chosen professions in the agriculture and biological sciences, vital to the well-being of our state, nation, and the world.
Casey Osby, Cody Esoff, Brady Aldrich, Catherine Anderson, Madeline Anderson, Timothy Anderson, Christopher Arthur, Colin Bailey, Nicole Bangasser, Victoria Barca, Rebecca Barland, Preston Berrigan, Michael Bartus, Hayden Bauman, Jacob Bostian, Daniel Becken, Christina Becker, Jace Bennett, Callie Bessler, Taylor Bloom, Dakota Borhave, Molly Baumgars, Paige Bourne, Caitlin Brandt, Jordan Brakacic, Shanna Brown, Justin Campton, Austin Carlson, Austin Carlson, Drew Carroll, Andrew Caruth, Austin Sheequin, Emma Christensen, Daniel Clay, James Cronk, Rebecca Cronk, Matthew Dolly, Carol Daniels, Catherine Davis, Shelby Denker, Ashley Denam, Andrew Doman, Samantha Duncan, Cheyenne Edmondson, Jessica Ibes, Lucas Eide, Amy Ellinger, Royce Erdman, Jake Ernst, Braden Esplund, Colin Faber, Remuel Farrell, Heather Fear, Jenna Pfeiferick, Caleb Fink, Jessica Francis, Eric Franta, Sam Fuchs, Gannon Flory, Kelly Gary, Kirk Gilbertson, Sarah Glashinsky, Kaylin Glogie, Jessica Gokin, Audrey Golombeski, Braden Greffy, Dallas Granstra, Eric Grismer, Jordan Gugesberg, Daniel Hayden, Samuel Hay, Nicholas Heiwick, Sarah Hamner, Savannah Hanson, Sawyer Hanson, Cody Hanson, Matthew Haroldson, Hannah Haroldson, Renee Harrison, Abraham Haug, Brady Houseweddle, Tasha Hesch, Marcus Heiling, Robert Heine, Jared Heisinger, Aaron Held, Hunter Henderson, Shelby Hochstein, Travis Hofer, Annalisa Hoffman, Joseph Hoffman, Lexus Hoffman, Ryan Hoffman, Ryan Howheeler, Mandy Hoisted, Kelsey Hokinson, Erica Hauska, Ben Huser, Devin Holstein, Anders Jacobson, Jade Jandal, Nicole Jacks, Coley Jennison, Hannah Jensen, Brandon Johnson, Shay Johnson, Wyatt Johnson, Ross Julson, Andrew Kappenman, Daniel Kapperman, Jacob Catcher, Olivia Kendall, Molly Kennedy, Alicia Keentop, Shauna Kill, Nicolette Kint, Joshua Kirchenbauer, David Klabundi, Sarah Klyer, Alexander Knips, Adam Kraus, Jeffrey Langland, Daniel Larson, Kayla Larson, Shelby Larson, Landon Leonard, Chantel Lewis, Nicholas List, Chance Littau, Philip Lorch, Jacob Lowaji, Kelly Jo Lubitz, Tiffany Ludwig, Nathan Lundberg, Nathan Lynn, Anthony Lyron, Kimberly Maassen, Mitchell Madsen, Scott Magis, Eric Magnuson, Allison Marnett, Thomas Martin, Sarah Mays, Elizabeth Mayrose, Mallory McLeod, Trent McKee, Nathan McMullen, Carolyn Meendering, Justin Meyer, Justine Mice, Nathan Mikesel, Alexander Mergen, Brent Meschke, Joshua Metzger, Tyler Metzger, Aaron Miller, Andrew Miller, Kyle Miller, Matthew Morley, Jarrett Munneke, Slade Muchelnaus, Kelly Knotts, Elizabeth Navio, Matthew Nelson, Cassidy Nome, Jason Olsom, Rachel Ormseth, Jordan Osmondson, Hayden Palmer, Andrea Paulson, Landon Paulson, Jared Pettit, Katie Pierce, Brooke Piggott, Michaela Pillar, David Plaziak, Isaac Pop, Sarah Post, Wyatt Post, Connor Powell, Whitney Prinz, Lacey Quayle, Aaron Radke, Brenna Ramsden, Andrew Rausch, Jacob Reed, Megan Rainier, Jeremy Reisdorfer, Kelsey Reppening, Kendall Raher, Jessica Riediger, Chase Rieken, Lorna Reamer, Bailey Ringenberg, Jenna Ripp, Grady Rubel, Bryce Saylor, Caroline Sheffert, Sydney Shellpepper, Kara Shelsky, Shannon Schilder, Brittany Schleicher, Christopher Schmidt, Jonathan Schmidt, Landon Schultz, Casey Shippey, Olivia Siglin, Bryce Sieverling, Courtney Smith, Jared Smith, Casey Snyder, Paul Sonic, Jacob Sorensen, Caitlin Sorensen, Savannah Spurley, Jarrett Spitzak, Jennifer Stangl, Shelby Stevens, Ellen Stolp, Ryland Strom, Megan Steuven, Daniel Summers, Tyler Swan, Jonathan Tower, Shayla Tacroni, Noah Thaler, Dakota Thomas, Brooke Thompson, Jack Thompson, Zachary Tyndall, Ashley Tonek, Jay Troms, Olivia Van Essen, Elena Van Overbeck, Austin Van Santen, Nicole Vandenberg, Michaela Vanderwall, David Van Klompenberg, Ryan Versavel, Brooke Virchow, Matthew Vogel, Joshua Way, Kaylee Wagner, Brandon Weidert, Samantha Wellew, Laura Wenzel, Kyle Whitmire, Mitchell Weimers, Benjamin Wiest, Nicholas Williams, Ella Warnetsky, Mitchell Yowney, Cheyenne Zaragoza, Brent Zemlicka, Brett Zemer, Hannah Abdul-Jalil, Jessica Addington, Iman Ali, Savannah Allard, Derek Allen, Brooke Anderson. Are you next? Jeremiah Atkinson. Paul Balderramos. Tyler Beeman. Kaya Berg Kopecki. Julie Bob. Severin Brandt. Pavel Borovtsov. Aaron Byers. Jessica Callahan. Carver Ching. John Christensen. Adam Klus. Cody Conlon. Rachel Corkin. Katie Denny. Jacob DeCry. Dalton DeLang. Aaron Doherty. Corey Dreetz. Ryan Dufour. Nicholas Doulis. Josh Irwin. Connor Farrar. Gavin Fensky. Holly Fegan. Adam Feldheim. Lori Foltz. Isaac Full. Lauren Gonzalez. Mark Gorsuch. Christopher Green. Travis Hagedorn. Holly Hubcat. Ainsley Harper. Brenna Hatlested. Kendall Heddick. Matthew Hoynes. Elise Hamala. Matthew Hummel. Ashley Jensen. Haley German. Emily Jones. Katie Just. Madison Kroll. Catherine Cullard. Amy Leiferman. Joseph Lucas. Tiffany Lundberg. Sarah Maloney. Matthew McKillop. Molly Mikulski. Louise Manga. Sarah Muirhead. Tierney Mullaney. Ashley Mush. Samantha Nielsen. Megan Norman. Landon Olson. Courtney Otto. Haley Peterson. Jonathan Pfeiffer. Austin Pierce. Colton Pryor. Jordan Redmond. Ryan Reichus. Hannah Reski. Elizabeth Roden. Jared Royland. Tyler Rowland. Garrett Rolls. Christina Ruth. Michaela Santos Rivera. Courtney Schaefer. Caitlin Schaefer. Craig Shaky. Audie Schmidt. Mary Schroers. Benjamin Schwery. Jessica Simon. Dylan Slava. Tyler Solano. Danica Spooner. Nicholas Steinley. Megan Stewart. Abilene Suttel. Haley Thompson. Jacob Thompson. Valerie Thorson. Jennifer Verkota. Austin Waltz. Sadie Webb. Heidi Wiebold. Austin Weasler. Andrew Wilson. Stephanie Wooten. Parker Yost. Jacob Zoller. Caitlin Blades. Mitchell Hinckley. Terrence Kirchel. Christopher Knepp. Kristen Schultz. Nicholas Steffel.
Thank you, Dean Dunn. Now, we have come to the central moment in these ceremonies. If you have not already done so, invite each graduate to move the tassel on your cap from the right to the left side, right to the left side, showing you are officially graduates of South Dakota State University. Audience, would you please stand and congratulate these new SDSU graduates? Thank you all for coming this morning and participating in this very, very special day. It was indeed a pleasure to have all of you at this morning's commencement. Another happy Mother's Day to all the mothers with us today for tomorrow. And graduates, you have now earned your degrees. You have realized your dreams. but the future lies before you. Congratulations. The 2016 morning commencement ceremony of South Dakota State University is now adjourned. Please rise as the colors are retired and the platform party exits.
of my heart. Oh, Messiah.